Each dawn brings only another agonizing breath, another battle to wage. There's no longer a path forward, no strategic move left on this frozen chessboard between the fleeting warmth of a shelter and the unforgiving embrace of the street. Desperation gnaws at my core. My legs, a canvas of weeping sores from the ceaseless damp, scream with every step, while my back feels perpetually on the verge of splintering. Yet, the choice is stark. Rise into the biting maw of the pre-dawn cold, forsaking limbs to move, to navigate the brutal logistics of mere existence, all while the chilling echo of the city's inevitable no reverberates through your very bones. In the shadow of Toronto's gleaming, indifferent glass towers, where the financial district hums with the relentless pursuit of prosperity, a stark and brutal truth bleeds into the frigid air with every passing day, as neon stock tickers pulse with a triumphant green, charting the ascent of unimaginable fortunes. The very breath of winter, a cruel -15 degrees Celsius, carves through flesh and spirit, transforming the city's iconic thoroughfares into a merciless, frozen purgatory. Welcome to homeless US. I am Jack, and today, we are crossing an invisible border into what many consider one of North America's most affluent urban centers, to bear witness to a humanitarian crisis that is literally freezing lives in its grip. Here, over 15,000 souls are forced to navigate the extreme elements of this unforgiving city. Without the fundamental security of a door to lock behind them, they huddle in the deep, cold shadows cast by luxury condominiums, not out of any lack of ambition or will, but because they have been inexorably forced into a grueling, all-consuming occupation, the relentless, exhausting business of basic human survival. Today, I invite you to follow me into the ultimate 24-hour endurance test. From the bone-chilling pre-dawn, before the first sliver of light, to the pitch-black, lethally cold night, we will meticulously uncover the brutal, ingenious science of urban winter survival. Stay with us. What you are about to witness today, the raw, unvarnished truth, will forever reshape your perception of the gleaming, modern metropolis. Part 1. The 5 a.m. Exile, the morning reality. The harrowing 24-hour cycle of survival for those without shelter does not commence with the gentle rising of the sun. It begins in the deepest, most treacherous and coldest hour of the morning, long before dawn. At the precise, unforgiving hour of 5 a.m., the temporary warming centers scattered across the city reach the abrupt conclusion of their operational mandate, their heavy doors grown open, and the system, with an almost mechanical indifference, effectively expels its occupants back out onto the frozen, unyielding concrete. For Elias, a 45-year-old veteran of the unforgiving Toronto pavement, a man whose skin is etched with the stories of countless cold mornings, the most perilous phase of his day has just begun. Between the desolate hours of 5 and 8 in the morning, the city's celebrated architectural design, a marvel of modern engineering, paradoxically morphs into a formidable adversary for the vulnerable. The towering glass skyscrapers, designed to capture sunlight and reflect wealth, instead function as massive, accelerating wind tunnels, amplifying the freezing gusts and creating wind chills so potent they can literally strip the vital core heat right out of a human lung. Elias, with the precision born of desperation, has approximately 60 seconds to compress his entire earthly existence. A worn sheaf of ID papers, a crucial power bank, and a sleeping bag stiff with salt and frost into a battered rucksack. Any fraction of a delay renders him an immediate, exposed target for opportunistic theft, or, just as critically, a violation of the city's increasingly stringent municipal bylaws. He is not walking for the sake of cardiovascular health or leisurely exercise. He is propelling himself forward for the sheer internal combustion required to generate heat. By 7 a.m., his exhausted frame arrives at a local charity mission, where he rushes to consume a bowl of thin, watery oatmeal. This is far from a culinary experience. It is a rapid injection of high glycemic fuel, absolutely vital to power his body through the incessant, involuntary shivering that has already begun to rack his frame. Then comes the subtly ingenious Tim Hortons gambit. Elias, with practiced hands, scrapes together precisely to precious dollars for a small black coffee. He does not purchase it for the caffeine kick. He buys it because that single, unassuming receipt magically transforms into a 60-minute legal lease on a plastic chair inside a heated, indoor space. In this profoundly prosperous city, the fundamental, taken for granted right to simply breathe warm indoor air has been meticulously commodified, transforming into an exclusive subscription service available only to those who can pay. Part 2. The physics of survival and the day shift. In the relentless, sub-zero theater of a Canadian winter, outdoor gear is not merely a fashion statement or a seasonal accessory. It is an absolutely critical, meticulously assembled life support system. Survival on the street is dictated with uncompromising severity by the ironclad laws of thermodynamics. The golden rule of the pavement, a truth learned through bitter experience, is universally understood and instantly obeyed. Cotton kills. Cotton, with its innocent appearance, acts as a molecular sponge, mercilessly trapping freezing moisture directly against the skin, accelerating hypothermia. Consequently, those who manage to survive this season year after year treat merino wool and advanced synthetic polyesters like tactical gold, valuing their unparalleled ability to wick moisture away, thereby allowing the body's internal biological furnace to continue its vital, life-sustaining burn. Moving outward from the core, the science of survival becomes astonishingly industrial and resourceful. Elias, with a pragmatism born of necessity, employs heavy-duty duct tape as a crucial thermal sealant, meticulously taping the seams of his aging jacket to ruthlessly eliminate the smallest microdrafts of freezing air that would otherwise steal precious heat. He lines the interior of his makeshift tent with mylar space blankets, scientifically designed to reflect a staggering 90% of his radiant body heat back towards his chest, creating a fragile pocket of warmth. But perhaps the single most critical piece of technology he possesses is a robust 20,000 milliamp-hour power bank. A dead phone in this unforgiving landscape signifies a total blackout of the survival map itself. Without it, he cannot track vital transit routes, locate life-saving outreach vans, or receive critical, ever-changing shelter updates. By noon, the mission shifts to the sidewalk economy, a complex and often invisible network of resourcefulness. This involves bending the grueling, often hazardous industrial process of meticulously digging through municipal waste bins and dumpsters to collect aluminum cans, which represent the only currency that possesses the magical quality of not freezing. Simultaneously, the working homeless emerge from the city's underbelly. These are the dishwashers, the shelf stockers, the invisible labor force who spend their days using the Toronto Reference Library, not as a sanctuary for books, but as a tactical operations center. Here, they covertly charge their phones and power banks, discreetly wash their faces in public sinks, and desperately pray that security guards do not notice the profound, bone-deep weariness etched into their eyes, with provincial assistance stipends perpetually frozen at a staggeringly low $700 a month. The fragile sidewalk economy represents the only tenuous bridge spanning an impossible, ever-widening financial gap. Part 3. The Shelter Lottery and the Rent Trap. As the digital clock face mercilessly strikes 3 p.m., a collective wave of palpable anxiety washes over the unsheltered population, a silent dread that permeates the cold air. Welcome to the zero-sum hour, a cruel daily lottery where the ultimate jackpot is the humble promise of a plastic cot, and the grim consolation prize is a slow, agonizing battle against the insidious creep of hypothermia. Elias, with a tremor of hope and despair, dials central intake, the faceless municipal gatekeeper for shelter beds, with overall occupancy perpetually locked at a critical 99%. The system is not merely strained, it is structurally, fundamentally broken. The single most critical, life-saving resource in this sprawling city is distributed through the infuriating, demoralizing sound of a busy signal. When the disembodied operator inevitably delivers the crushing no, Elias must immediately pivot to tactical engineering, scavenging discarded wooden pallets and industrial bubble wrap from back alleys. to meticulously construct a rudimentary thermal barrier, a thin, desperate shield against the frozen, unforgiving dirt, to truly grasp the profound desperation that drives a man like Elias to repeatedly dial a shelter hotline, we must confront the predatory, merciless ecosystem of the modern real estate market. The rent poverty trap is not merely an economic challenge. It is a mathematical chokehold, squeezing the life out of countless individuals. The new, undeniable, and increasingly visible face of homelessness in our cities is tragically the working class citizen. A full-time minimum wage worker, toiling tirelessly, brings home approximately $2,200 a month. Yet, a basic, often cramped studio apartment in this very city now commands a staggering $2,400 a month. The math is not just difficult, it is, quite simply, completely impossible. This brutal economic deficit, this chasm between income and cost, funnels thousands of individuals into a terrifying, dehumanizing pipeline. They spend their nights enduring the crowded, chaotic conditions of a warehouse shelter or huddled in the cold confines of their car. And their days are spent in an elaborate, exhausting charade, pretending to be a fully functioning member of the middle class for their employer. The city's avaricious housing market, with its relentless focus on profit, treats human shelter as a high-yield asset class, a commodity to be traded, rather than a basic biological necessity, leaving essential workers with the impossible, soul-crushing choice between purchasing groceries to survive or having a stable roof over their heads. Part 4, The Lethal Night and the Body's Erosion. By 9 p.m., the last vestiges of the sun are a distant, forgotten memory, and the wind chill, having sharpened throughout the day, transforms into a truly tactical, invisible blade, cutting deep. For Elias, this is the static phase, the most lethal and treacherous part of the entire 24-hour cycle, a period where the fundamental human need for movement must tragically cease. To survive the long, dark, and utterly brutal night, Elias meticulously employs a deep layering protocol, a precise choreography of survival. He first wraps himself tightly in the crinkling mylar, then carefully slides into a sub-zero rated sleeping bag. We, in our comfortable language, colloquially call this camping, but in the harsh reality of the street, it is a high-stakes, desperate, and often agonizing experiment in the rudimentary science of biological heat retention, a silent prayer against the encroaching cold. This static phase introduces a terrifying and insidious psychological variable, the toxic sleep trade-off, because the physical pain of freezing joints and aching muscles is so relentlessly agonizing. Many individuals, pushed to their breaking point, tragically turn to unregulated substances as a chemical off-switch, a desperate attempt to mute the unbearable suffering. However, this creates a fatal biological trap. If an individual drifts too deeply into a substance-induced lethargy, their body tragically loses its vital shiver reflex, the involuntary muscle friction. That is the body's last, desperate attempt to generate warmth. Without this crucial reflex, the core body temperature drops silently, insidiously, until the internal organs, one by one, simply cease to function. Living on the unforgiving pavement under these extreme conditions is not a sudden catastrophe, but a slow-motion biological collision, a relentless siege against the human form. When the mercury plummets, the human body instinctively enters survival shunt mode, a primitive physiological response that pulls warm blood away from the extremities to desperately protect the vital core organs. Consequently, fingers and toes are ruthlessly sacrificed to the elements, leading to severe, often irreversible tissue damage and the brutal, disfiguring necessity of surgical interventions at local trauma centers. Furthermore, chronic, relentless sleep deprivation triggers a massive, sustained cortisol spike, a flood of stress hormones that severely impairs cognitive function, making clear thought and decision-making nearly impossible. The city is not just passively failing to house its people, it is actively presiding over the physical, mental, and spiritual disintegration of its most vulnerable residents, dismantling them piece by agonizing piece. Part 5. The endless loop of systemic failure. The grim countdown to the 5 a.m. shelter discharge begins its relentless cycle once more. As the heavy doors of the warming center heave open, Elias, with a profound sense of weary resignation, steps back into the lung-searing vapor of the winter dawn. He is re-entering a closed-loop system, not designed for recovery or rehabilitation, but engineered for absolute attrition, a grinding process that slowly wears down the human spirit and body. This is the very essence of the logistical nightmare plaguing the modern city. Every minor tactical victory, a precious hot meal, a pair of dry socks, a phone successfully charged, is instantly and mercilessly neutralized by the sheer, overwhelming physics of the next incoming cold front, the next bureaucratic barrier, the next unforgiving minute on the street. The municipal system, despite its vast expenditure, functions less as a solution and more as a revolving door of crisis management. We funnel billions of taxpayer dollars into emergency services, acting as a temporary, inadequate bandage applied to a severed artery, stemming the flow for a moment, but never truly healing the wound. Municipalities spend roughly $3,000 to $4,000 per month per individual, merely to maintain a basic shelter bed and provide an emergency response. That exact same figure, when viewed through a lens of human dignity and intelligent planning, could easily subsidize a secure, warm, and stable apartment, offering true refuge. Yet, the tragic, infuriating end result of this massive public expenditure is nothing more than a busy signal from a hotline, a symbol of a system overwhelmed and broken. We have, inadvertently or through deliberate neglect, transformed the crisis of homelessness into a high-overhead, poverty management industry, perpetuating the problem rather than resolving it. Furthermore, the profound and relentless mental fatigue generated by this inescapable loop creates an impenetrable cognitive fog. When your brain is hyper-focused, consumed entirely by the primal, desperate task of maintaining a stable core body temperature, you simply do not possess the cognitive bandwidth, the mental resources, to navigate a highly complex, 20-page government housing application, bristling with legalese and demanding intricate documentation. The system, with its cold, bureaucratic logic, demands that the broken, the freezing, and the traumatized be more organized, more resilient, and more resourceful than the very bureaucrats who, through their systemic failures, have condemned them to this existence. Ultimately, Elias's grueling 24-hour cycle is not just a personal tragedy. It is a grim prophecy, a stark warning for a working class that currently harbors the illusion of safety. One severe medical bill, one aggressive, unjust eviction, or one sudden, unexpected layoff is all it truly takes to cross that terrifying threshold, to fall into the kill zone of the street, where the battle for survival becomes a daily, unwinnable war. The outrow, the reflection, and call to action. The sun is, at last, making its hesitant ascent over the frozen, indifferent grid of Toronto. But for the thousands of individuals trapped within this cruel, endless loop, the mere arrival of daylight does not bring true warmth, nor does it herald genuine hope. It merely signals the beginning of another grueling, relentless 24-hour war against the unforgiving elements. The cycle does not break. It merely waits, patiently, for its next victim. The most profound and haunting question we are left with, as we process these realities, is not how men like Elias somehow manage to survive the unsurvivable, to extract life from the jaws of absolute destitution. The real, soul-searching question is why we, as a society, as a collective, have meticulously built a world that relentlessly demands they have to. We walk past these urban ghosts every single day, hurrying by. We avert our eyes, we quicken our pace, and we soothe our consciences by telling ourselves, with a comforting lie, that the system will handle it, that someone else is responsible. But the system, as Elias has shown us, is nothing more than a plastic chair, fleetingly rented for the meager price of a coffee. We want desperately to hear from you, our audience. How did this deep, unflinching dive into the stark realities of winter survival on the streets of a major city make you truly feel? Does your own city, wherever you are, face a similar, hidden crisis of hostile architecture and increasingly unaffordable housing? Please, we implore you, share your raw thoughts and your deepest emotions in the comments section below. We commit to reading every single one, for your voice, your perspective, is an absolutely crucial part of this ongoing, vital mission. If you fundamentally believe, as we do, that housing is an undeniable, fundamental human right, and that no one, absolutely no one, should be forced to rely on flimsy bubble wrap and mylar just to keep their precious heart beating through the longest, coldest night, then please lend your support to this channel. Hit the like button to help the algorithm push this vital message to a wider, more diverse audience. Breaking through the noise, subscribe to Homeless US and turn on the notification bell so you never, ever miss our next investigation into the hidden, stark, and often shocking realities of our world. Share this video widely with your family, your closest friends, and especially with your local representatives and policymakers. Because the more people who are exposed to the unfiltered truth, the harder it becomes for the world, for all of us to simply look away, to remain indifferent. Thank you for your invaluable time. Thank you for your profound empathy. We will see you with another story in the next investigation. Together, hand in hand, we can make the invisible, finally, powerfully visible. This is Jack, signing off, with a heavy heart but a resolute spirit. Stay warm and above all, stay compassionate.